I want to hear TD's side of Cam versus Norman practice. TD, let us know what's up.
Listen, man, that moment was just, it was crazy. It's literally like it was surreal because, like Cam just talked about, we always went at it in practice. We always kind of, jabbed at each other back and forth. And there was never a time when you came to a Carolina Panther practice where you didn't hear myself or this dude going at it. And Coach Rivera used to always welcome that. And, it became a thing where Josh kind of started to find his way and he started to become who he became. And, Josh, he's a prideful person. But I told him, man, hey, if you're going to talk shit and you're going to get in somebody's face, you better not be getting dangled and hung around by the quarterback, man, because ain't nobody going to respect you in this league after you allow that to happen, man. Because, hey,
that's a big-ass quarterback, though, TD.
That was one of those, I don't give a shit how big he is. I'll sit him on his ass. I told him that. He don't want no smoke. But it's just one of those things, man. I think people don't realize that shit brought us closer together as a football team. It didn't divide us because a lot of teams, a situation like that when you have the star MVP quarterback and then you have one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL at that time, like that can become a divide. But what it did, it ultimately brought us closer as a football team, man. So I'm glad that it happened, honestly.
But I'll take you this. I'll take you back.
His ass knew who to go grab.
Take me through the story.
I tell you, look, you lucky it wasn't you. Cause let me tell you something. They would have been calling you at 85 because I would have flipped that 58 upside down. You hear me? Shit. Real talk. But this is the situation. This was before it's crazy how it happened because it was before the 2015 season. This was like that training camp leading up into it. All right. The tempo had already been set. I had this challenge in myself that I did not want. Look, TD can't catch. All right. It was Luke who I had to worry about because Luke was one of the dudes that was always, he knew we loved the drive, the seam dead combination. But he would pass the seam off to the safety and fall off to the dig. So this particular practice, it kept showing up on film. And my challenge was I do not want to throw a pick to Luke. I just didn't that was my challenge. So that practice, and I think a meeting before Coach Shula, we're just always talking about effort. Like, hey, listen, no matter good, bad, indifferent, like, listen, we have to show up on film. You're not who you think you are. You are what the film says you are. And I had threw an interception. It was like a tip pass, or it may have been a clean pick by Jano, right? So I'm going, to kind of tap, like we had this thing in practice, like if you do something, boom, just tap his hips and then boom, whatever. So when I threw the pick, Jano had like stiffed on me and he's so hard that my face mask kind of like came like down over my face. So I'm like, hold up. And anytime a big play happened in practice, he finished the whole play. He ran the whole field. You know what I'm saying? And it was just like, okay, cool. Getting the crowd involved. It was one of them type of days, right? It was overcast. I remember it like it was yesterday, So when he scored the touchdown or whatever, that's when I was like, hey, man, stop that shit now. All that shit gonna get your ass whooped. One thing led to another, and then you see the rest was history, But that was just the competitiveness that team embodied. I didn't see Jano. I saw the enemy. And after practice, you know what I'm saying, it was just all love. You feel what I'm saying? Just like the same thing with TD. Those great teams, bro, have this continuity that's hard to kind of mimic. It was in the spades table in the dining hall. It was playing Madden. It was playing NCAA. It was playing 2K with the guys who played the game. And then it was just a unity on the field or even with the pig tournaments. Like, it was that competitiveness that everybody brought something to it in their own way. The way you talk to TD is different than how you talk to K1 Short. The way you talk to K1 Short is completely different than how you talk to Charles Johnson or Julius Peppers or Ryan Khalil and things like that. So, everything really kind of took off. And I remember kind of listening to the radio shows and it made national news with ESPN, and all of it was negative. But when you look at the greatness, as TD was talking about, of great teams, you know what's expected. And you can't apologize for having that edge. Either you're going to live with it or you're going to die with it. And nobody was above the law. If I was tripping, TD could check that. If TD was tripping, you had Pep, you had Chuck, you had all these people that was going to check that. You know what I'm saying? We did not want to create no distractions, because everything that made everybody, the distinct selves, was what made our team great that specific year. So,
well, that's solid, man. Yeah. Well, we gonna get in. I got a story.
It's funny that you say that, because it was funny that with the banter that we used to have, Coach Rivera would always be like, "Hey, if we got quiet any day defensively, he would look over and be like, hey, come on, talk that shit. Like, where y'all at?" But it was crazy because McDermott used to hate it. He hated it. He could not stand that shit. So I'm like, bro, like, what do I do? Do I keep talking shit to this dude, or do I listen to the head coach? Do I listen to my DC? But at that point, I'm like, man, you know what? Fuck it. We gonna go at it every single day. His ass gonna have to hear me every single day. But what people don't realize, and I don't even know if Cam fully understood or really realized, when you show up every single day at practice and you talking shit to the other side, you got to perform every single day. You got to bring your A game every single day. There's not a single day that you can come out there and feel sorry for yourself, because you're going to get embarrassed. You're going to get embarrassed. And if you are truly competitive, you ain't going to let that shit happen to you. And that's what made us the football team that we became, because we would go at it every single day. And it wasn't just about me, or it wasn't just about Cam. The offense knew they had to raise their level to make sure that Cam didn't look bad. The defense knew that they had to raise their level so that I didn't look bad. So every single day, man, we're competing. We're going at it every single day. And when we walked off that field, it was all love. It was all fun. And we talked about, hey, we took that L, I'm going to kick your ass tomorrow. Don't worry about it. I'm coming back. Like, and that was the banter that we had, man. And that's what made us a special team. It was so many days that Cam ass walked off that field sad, and he didn't really want to talk to us anyway, but we pulled him in, bro. Like, come on, bro. You got tomorrow. You going to get another shot at it. But today, we kicked your ass. And that was the reality. And that's what I tell people all the time, man. Like, that's what made that team become what it became, because it was like playing on Sundays every single day. Every single day.
So, just real quick, I'm going to let you get because he just throwing grenades and hiding his hand.
Because we got to still get in the news law.
We got to. But the truth about it is this. When I talk, I didn't give a damn if it was McDermott who was going to reply. If it was Ron Rivera, I talk shit to everybody. Not a lot of guys on the offensive side was the tempo.
You knew who was going to reply. You knew who was the talker. You knew who the talker was.
When I started talking to TD, then that's when Luke started talking, and then that's when Cap started talking, and then that's when Chuck started talking, and then when they would say anything to the offense, well, nobody else was gonna say something besides me. So sometimes this is the thing that I even have, concerns with players today. A lot of people can't compartmentalize correctly, especially on the field. I had a toxic ability to be able to laugh, giggle, and still stay focused. A lot of people cannot do that. Yeah. Like when you hear somebody laughing, that means they're not focused. When you hear somebody giggling, they're not. I never really performed well when I was just like mad as hell. Even though when I was like flexing, I wasn't mad. I was just having fun. You see what I'm saying? Now, my ability to talk to TD and talk shit to TD, Coach Rivera would kind of get away from it because it could be distracting, but I was still locked in. That's how I would stay engaged in practice. I wasn't the guy to just be quiet and sit over there in the Gatorade and just drink Gatorade or water. Like, that wasn't me. If I was doing that, I was really mad. You know what I'm saying? Like, that wouldn't like me. But we had some battles, had a lot of fun. And don't let your pride get in your way, TD.